guys, welcome back to another week of Mortgage Matters in Minutes. I'm your host and owner of Mortgage Specialist, Brent Rasmussen. Before I forget, we are so close to getting to that 1,000 subscribers, so we would love to have you follow us each and every week here as we give you education and information about real estate, advice that we can, and mortgage advice, and anything that happens in between. Because the goal here is to get the client, the borrower, or a seller educated to understand what happens and goes on with the process. Today is a very common topic that comes up during hot markets is, should I FSBO, which stands for for sale by owner, or should I hire a real estate agent, a realtor? And I would tell you most of the time it's a very simple answer once you look at the facts. But there might be a certain time, a one-off scenario we'll get to at the end that maybe makes sense for sale by owner. But we're going to kind of just show the pros and cons of both here today so you can understand maybe what's best for you. So first, we talked about what a FSBO is, which is a for sale by owner, meaning you market your own house, you put together all the paperwork, you make sure the buyer and seller agree to everything, and you make sure it gets it all to closing. What I would suggest on this is when I talk to clients is they do their job all day long. I wouldn't know the best way of making that happen. And again, we're not real estate agents. We're mortgage professionals. But we see this happening from the outside when we help and assist with the mortgage financing, that people might come to us and want us to walk them through the paperwork that we're not licensed to do. So what do real estate agents do? They're going to market your property. They're going to help in negotiations. They're going to help with the actual paperwork to make sure everything is put in place. And that can be one of the biggest reasons to make sure you have the legalities set up to cover either the buyer or the seller in regards to what's best for them. Just like you would if you went to court, you wouldn't maybe go and represent yourself, but it could happen. So you also have the pricing strategy, the years of experience. They have this all set up and already been through it many, many times to see the different problems and roadblocks that you might have along the way. One of the biggest reasons I see to use also a realtor is they've been through the whole process, and that process can change. There can be ups and downs, but they're there to make sure all of these items are structured and best for buyer and best for seller to make sure everyone is represented fairly. So let's talk about the head-to-head comparisons. First, cost. Obviously, people choose to do for sale by owner much of the time because the cost is significantly cheaper. They don't have to pay the real estate agent or the realtor. We're in the opposite situation here. The seller generally still is putting up money towards paying the buyer and the seller. That recently has changed and is not always the case, but it is much more expensive to put that up. But you're paying for the idea of representation. You're paying for the idea of being protected, but also getting the most out of your house or being represented to make sure you're not running into any massive problems. So while that cost is there, it's well warranted and well insured in case of any steps along the way or issues. Second, let's talk about time on market or days on market. We've seen this through the years, and realtors can show us this, that being represented and putting information through an entire database of other real estate agents, they have a lot more access to people that are buying the home, which will create higher prices, faster sales times, all the above. Where if you're for sale by owner, if you don't have access to these marketing platforms or places to for sale your house, not as many people are going to know about the property itself. Then it comes to negotiation skills. Yes, you might be a for sale by owner that is in sales, but understanding the lingo and what all happens and who's all involved, who can actually negotiate what and why and when are all things that an experienced real estate agent is going to bring to the table to help get that facilitated and a quicker closing. Legal protection. We have for sale by owner on one side. If you maybe sign something incorrectly, don't follow through, you might have yourself in a lawsuit. Using a real estate agent, they know what the laws, they know what the rules, they know what legalities and contracts that have to be put in place in order to protect both parties in regards to it. Last is pricing accuracy. In regards to a for sale by owner, you might price your house too high, not get anyone, price your house too low, and leave money on the table. So what I can tell you with anything in regards to what we handle in real estate is experience matters. And real estate agents that have done it many, 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 many times have much more experience than a person that maybe has sold one, two, or none houses and doesn't know what is in stake for the situation that's being happened. So we've talked about the pros and the cons. Let's talk a little bit about when maybe a for sale owner might work. We see this happen a lot of times when there's family sales, like a parent is selling their house to their child, or they've already negotiated through the years of what the price of the home is going to be. The person already knows the home. The person already knows everything about the property. That might be an opportunity where for sale by owner makes sense. But I can still share with you, we've done hundreds of those transactions, and not anyone knows what forms and paperwork that's needed, the process to get to closing, and all the above in regards to making all that happen. And there's a lot of assumptions that we as mortgage professionals are supposed to handle that, or the title company is supposed to handle that. But in essence, when you are selling your house by yourself, you are the one that handles the transaction. We'll provide the mortgage, title will provide the title insurance, and it's on the buyer and the seller to perform to get to that closing table. You might also run into a situation where a seller is a real estate agent and will help out, or both parties are a real estate agent, or both parties are attorneys. There might be a scenario that happens, which I've seen honestly. And then usually during extremely hot markets, it's obviously very easy to sell your home, but the legal protection there along the way might not carry forward. Again, there are some times that for sale by owners make sense. We're not saying that it's never a good thing to do, but I would always suggest contacting a professional always when you're there to sell your home. You don't know what you don't know. We are not licensed real estate agents. We can't assist and help you with that. But there are plenty of real estate agents that we can recommend in our local community that can help you achieve your goals of buying, selling, whatever the scenario may be. But even though you see that that real estate person can cost you money, in the long run, it's well protected. Just like you hiring an accountant, just like you hiring an attorney, just like you hiring someone to represent you, that realtor is there on your side. So I hope that gives you a little bit of data and information of what to consider as well. I can suggest with you that many of the times people don't know how to shop for a mortgage. And that's normal because you don't do it each and every day in regards to buying and selling real estate. So I'm Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. We're here to answer any questions. 402-991-5153. Hit a comment below, whether you had a good experience, whether you've had a bad experience with a for sale by owner, pricing out homes, you name it. We love to hear from you. Love to answer those comments. Have a great rest of your week. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.